Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I've got my torch right here. I've got a pile of books right here. So, totally set to dive into my pile of colored pages for September 2019. Going to move that away. Oh, I don't have any glare. I've put it there to stop the glare on this disc protector, but it seems to be okay. So we will start straight away. If you see a weird reflection here, it's because the camera of my cell phone has had an accident, and my glass that protects the camera is harmed, and that's why you can have some reflection. Like you see now, I'm waving with my hand and it's visible on the right, but I can't help it. It's the camera that oh, and now it's getting worse. Oh, it's getting better if I go further away from the light. Okay, let's try doing this way. Okay, first one is a Kauai Fairies spring adult coloring book by Art of Kauai. That's the publisher. And the first page I did in this one, it was a new book, although, no, I have to say it correctly. I bought it quite a few months ago, but it was still untouched. So I've tackled it, and now it has one colored page, and it is this one. I'm going to lift it up a bit. And you can see the shimmer already, so I don't think I will have to put on some extra light, but I can always do that. You can see the colors a bit better. It's evening when I'm filming this, so that's why I have to use my daylight lamp for the light. So with the flashlight you have more a realistic view on the page. I did do a marker base on her face, and I remember, I think, no, I'm mistaken. I was talking about using my more expensive pencils on another page, also in a book with thinner paper. I always was thinking I'm going to use my more expensive brands of pencils exclusively in more expensive coloring books, but that idea wasn't making me happy at all. If I want to use a whole bind pencil in a Hannah Lynn book, that's totally okay. It's about enjoyment and not giving yourself restrictions. So I think I've used, maybe it's whole bind, I can't remember. If you want to know which materials that I've used, please mention them in the comments down below. I don't have my notebook near me to check, but this is definitely glitter gel pen. The grass and the leaves are watercolor based. It's a palette with small pans. Arteza or my Chinese one, not sure anymore, but I really wanted some vivid colors, and I think it came out very lovely. I really enjoyed working on this picture. And of course you can see the base is watercolor, but I did some shading on top. This is only watercolor pencils. I believe these are the Artezas. But for the hair and the skin, can't remember exactly which pencils I've used. Same for her wings, but I was really happy. I did start it at the end of August, but I only finished it at the beginning of September, the 1st of September. And as you can see, also some glitters here. I think this is stickles in the sunflower, a bit here and there, and of course some gold paint, and yeah. Oh, and Spectrum Noir on her wings. So it seems. Sorry for that glare here on the left, but that's because of my light. It's very difficult to make it in the right way, to make it comfortable for filming. The second book, the coloring book of Flowers and Sweet Girls. I don't know who the artist is, but is it Dada Mao? It's possible. I believe she has multiple books. I did a few tutorial videos on this page on channel, but whoa, I got so blocked by it. I'm really happy that she's finished. I like the end result. And of course that's because of the gold paints and the stickles for the most part. But I really was glad that it was finished. I'm sorry, I'm going to try to make it a bit more comfortable for you to watch. Her face is done and her arms with luminance pencils, her hair also, I believe. And holbeins for these flowers. The background is Inktense, I think. But just as I've mentioned with the previous book, if you have any questions about the materials used, please ask them in the comments below. But I like the end result, but I really got into a coloring slump almost because of this one. Don't know why exactly, but yeah. And her dress is watercolor. It was very quickly done. I didn't want to invest any more time in this. You can see I've written down the date here. Started September 1st and finished 2 weeks later because I constantly have put it away and no. That was, oh yeah, I've made my book. Okay, now it's okay. That's for the glare that I did it. Then another project that I really like how the result looks, but I was so glad that it was finished also. It took me quite a while, I think, or maybe not even that long, but it felt like it did. 2 days, but it felt super long. And this is from Die Welt unter der Lupe zu Lande by Rita Berman. I'm trying to remember which pencils that I used. I'm sorry for that glare here. Pablo's, I think, for the most part. I'm going to try and show you the colors like they are and the shimmering here and there. There are a lot of animals and elements that have shimmer. You know, me and my shimmer. There can't be a page without shimmer if you live here. So happy with the end result. I'm sorry for that shadow. Happy with the end result, but whoa, it felt like I have worked on this for more than 2 days. It was very intricate, all small details. Very difficult to think of the colors too. I'm not too happy with that bird here. The rest is okay, but that bird is not my cup of tea, but yeah, it's done. Then I did one in the Mythical Maidens coloring book by Hannah Lynn. And it was this picture that I was working on during a color and chat, explaining that I was tired of myself restricting with using particular pencils in particular books. So I did her hair with the holbeins, her skin also, I think. The lion is luminance with a base of marker, if I'm not mistaken, yes. And I really like, I'm going to try and make you see it a bit better. I really like the details on his legs. It's I'm so sorry. I'm at the club again. Okay. I really hope it's a bit more visible. No, it's even more terrible. Yeah. I feel like an amateur now, but I really have no other solution than to film like I'm filming now. I hope it's not too disturbing. So I really like the details on the lion's legs. And I like the snake, I like the goat. The clouds are another story. I did use some acrylic paint and some, I can't even remember what material that I put on top, and then I thought I will save it with glitter. And so I did, and it's fairly okay. And this is how she is looking. I'm going to try to move that light a bit extra. Oh. No, it's still... It's annoying. You are enormously annoying. Trying to do it like this. And then it becomes dark. Okay. So sorry, I will have to do it like I'm doing it now. And turning that lamp again so that it's a bit visible. So very happy with this one. I didn't do another one in this one, I think. The next book is the 100 coloring pages line art by Alena Lazareva. It's the second book in this publication. There's also another a very big book. It's a very big one. There's another big book out by Alena, the first part. I don't have that, but I have this, and I had a lovely time. Can't talk, can't show my pictures. Okay, I tested a few mediums on this paper because I thought it was similar to the Henna-Lin paper, but it wasn't. It was a bit more difficult to use water media on, but I didn't dare to use neo colors and Inktense, but I did use some aqua markers that I could mix on a palette and apply with a water brush, and that worked really well. Although the page is more buckled than a Henna-Lin page. I didn't use any markers, but I did use the aqua markers to base this the tentacles of the octopus, and then I went on top with fluorescent pink. It could be Prisma, it could be Holbeins, I'm not sure anymore, but I think I've used Prismas on this one. And Polychromos on her skin, I think. I've tested out 2 types of pencils, if I'm not mistaken, to see if oil-based and wax-based pencils, which one would work better. But I have a review on this book on my channel, where I discuss more about the materials that I've used. So if you're interested, you can take a look over there. But I'm going to grab that torch again. And these are the real colors. I've used some glittery details on the bubbles and on the tentacles, and on the flowers, on the fish. It's a shimmering feast again. And then I've just finished this one yesterday. It was this magical lady. I was thinking that she is doing her magic, and she's a bit frustrated that it isn't working, but all the magic is happening right behind her, because I've used a lot of shimmery materials in different colors, and so look at that. And she isn't aware of all this beauty. That's why she's really looking a bit angry, frustrated. But the magic is happening, only she isn't seeing it. Used alcohol markers for her dress. The skin is I've just colored it in yesterday. My memory is hopeless. Pablo's. I've used Pablo's. And I did have an accident, I see. I had some trouble with my Posca pen on the side. I had some smudges here because it was running down, and I've used some acrylic paint to fill up the rest. And then I think my Posca pen leaked, or I don't know what happened, but this isn't supposed to be here. But I can imagine that there's another plant growing without any leaves on it. But yeah, watercolored this ground, I think, and used pencils for shading, the Prismacolor ones. And the whole wall and gate here is a base of gesso with Neocolor 2 on top. The tree and the leaves are watercolor paint. I've used a palette. I'm going to take a look if it's in here. Yes. I've used a watercolor palette with brownish tones or blackish tones. So reddish black, yellowish black, greenish black. So I did use the brownish black for the twigs and greenish black for the leaves. And some are more watered down than others. And on her dress, it's marker with pencil on top. And her hair is also marker with pencil on top. So, liking this one. But it was quite heavy, I must say. A lot of work to do on this page, but I like the end result, and that's all that matters. Then we have, going to put that paint away again. Then we have one in the first book by Clara Markova. I was still waiting for my fourth book by her. And I decided to do this one. I've used Holbeins for his skin and watercolor pencils for the mushrooms and the plants, and some liquid watercolor from a bottle. It resembles it looks like ink for the mushrooms. At first I wasn't too happy with the skin, but the more I did with the background and the leaves, the more I started to like how it turned out. The background is Albrecht Dürer. It's possible that the plants are Albrecht Dürer also, so the stems and no Inktense, but Albrecht Dürer, I think. And of course, also here we have some glitter and shimmer. He has some shimmery freckles, shimmer on the toadstool, on the berries on the leaves have glitter. That butterfly is quite shimmery. Whoa. I did him with paint, I think. Yeah, with some paint and stickles on top. So I really wish I could come a bit closer. I can, but I really hate how this light is. It's really annoying. But I still hope it's enjoyable to watch. So that was the Clara Markova one. Then I started one in the Halloween special. I was super happy with my progress and what I did. And now I'm totally blocked because of her outfit. Yeah, I still have to do her hands. Skin is luminance, hair also, I think. The pumpkins are Durban drawing, the mushrooms are also luminance, and the leaves is just regular watercolor paint in autumn colors. So a bit of brown, a bit of green, a bit of yellowish, I think, but that's not quite visible. Anyway, it was a bit of an autumn page. I really was super happy, and I'm sure it will look lovely if I've color in her clothing, but I've lost my feeling for this page. I really hope it will return because it's a beautiful Halloween picture, but so far, no. Really like how her skin turned out also. I'm going to see if I can't move that lamp a bit further. I really have some trouble here with... So this is how her skin is looking. There's some paint here on the cage and on the key around her neck. But yeah, the shading for her clothing is, yeah, I'm not feeling it at the moment. The background is Neo too, a bit of a stormy. She isn't a grey witch, but I thought the background being grey was also quite okay. But yeah, I will see how, or when I will return to this one. Not sure yet. The next one, I had a lovely time with this one. Every time that I feel like a coloring slump is coming to look around the corner, I grab a Hannah Lynn book and I have to pause my video because it's going to switch off. And so here I am again. That was right on time, I think. So I was saying, every time when I feel that there's a coloring slump coming, I choose a Hannah Lynn picture and it's instant happiness. I adore these coloring books. They are fun. They are, yeah, I really like the artwork of Hannah Lynn, and to get me out of my witch slump, I decided to color in another witch, and it was this one. And as you can see, the background is quite streaky, but if you hold it up in the light, it's so super shimmery. And I'm going to take a look. I think I've marker based everything, yeah. I remember doing her skin with the Color Soft pencils. Really love her skin tone. I really love how she's turned out. Her hair is also Color Soft, but the dress is Derwent Drawing and her hat. And some Signo to make it look like, I don't know the word. It's made in Bruges or Brugge. Here in Belgium also it's very famous for its this. It's called Kant here in Flemish, but I can't remember the English word. But anyway, really like this page. Forgot to do her bow here, but yeah, okay. I'm going to take this torch, and I don't know if it was visible just before, but there are also some stickles on these little details beside her and beside the spider, and of course on her dress that spider web is stickles. Spider web on her head is stickles. It was a glittery fun page. It's also a bit visible if I do it like so. So yeah, really, I think it's one of my favorites of this month. Really liking her. So that was Enchanted Halloween coloring book by Hannah Lynn. Then we dive into the new Clara Markova book. I already did a video about this book, how I experienced the paper, and I've showed my only picture that I've colored in so far. It's the nameplate page. So if you want some more detail on the paper, and if you want to see a flip through and you didn't already do so, you can take a look at that video. Used luminous pencils on this one, Holbein's watercolor, Neocolor, a lot of white Signo on these flowers, paints, stickles. It's yeah, very happy with the end result. I'm going to show it like this. very, very happy with the end result. I love how her wings turn out. They're a bit bluish, but it's not quite visible. It's only visible when you shake the page a bit, and his wings are green. And if you have that book lying like this, it's also not visible. So lovely effect. Really happy with this page. I really want to dive into her world, but so far I can't choose. All the pages are so beautiful. I also want to dive in her previous books. But yeah, I keep on choosing other books because, yeah, I can't choose. I really have trouble choosing. But sooner or later I will dive in. Love these books. Then I did a quick watercoloring project in my Japanese Alice in Wonderland coloring book. I bought this book because I was thinking Japanese paper is always quality and normally suited for watercoloring, and it is. So I think I will be coloring in this book with my watercoloring pencils most of the time, being the Inktense ones or the Albrecht Dürer ones. And I'm going to my picture straight away. I've shown this one already whilst doing my flip through of this coloring book. A lot of people reacted that they loved this book, and I'm happy that that I could show it to you what was inside, and that it was a well-tasted book. So Arteza watercolor pencils and some gold paint and wild gold here on her shell. Some glitter gel pen for the details in her head and on her dress here. Alice also has some white gold socks, and I really enjoyed this little project. I only did a little bit of shading around her head, but everything else is purely Arteza watercoloring pencils. And it has become quite poppy in colors, and that's super nice, I think. So that was this page. I don't know who the publisher is, but if you want to take a look at the book, maybe you can pause this video and look up these two ISBN numbers. Maybe that's helpful. So, and one of my viewers also posted a link for Etsy, I believe, an Etsy shop that is selling this book. So if you're interested, take a look at the flip through video of this book, and there's more detail in the description below. Then I did a body coloring with Color Me Stress Free. We chose to do a Rapunzel, and she has filmed her finished pages already. Her version was super beautiful. Mine is a bit different, but they when Debbie, or Deborah, I think her real name is, she's calling herself Debbie or Deborah, when she sent me the two pictures beside each other, it was so beautiful to see. Really enjoyed it. I must say, I normally I hardly do any body colors because I really have to feel a page. And I also don't know how much you have to mail to each other. Do you mail every progress or not? That was a bit of a search for me. I didn't know, what was the meaning. So if I mailed a little less, Debbie, that's because I was insecure about what to do, and but I really enjoyed seeing our end results together. It's very lovely. So thank you very much for suggesting the body color. For this page, the background is Neos 2, Derwent Graphitint for extra details in the clouds. Her hair, the golden pencil by Prismacolor with some extra shading on top. And I did use some gold paint because Rapunzel has gold hair. And I hope it will be visible. Yes, if I hold it like this. So now you see nothing. And if I turn it into the light, it's quite shimmery. So I really like how that looked. And my glass windows have glitter and shimmer and paints. And yeah, the chandelier in the back is the same, but it's a bit too bright. But anyway, you can see it shimmering and glittering. For the tower, I based it with gesso and used the Derwent graphited pencils for the brickwork. And these is also Prismacolors for the plants and the birds here. Really enjoyed this page. As I was saying, Hannah Lynn makes me happy, so I was glad that Debbie wanted to do a Hannah Lynn picture. She also colors a lot of Hannah Lynn pictures, because she's also liking them, I think. She does them a lot, so it's very nice and very lovely to see. Check out her channel, I will link it down below. Yeah, she's doing beautiful works also. So thank you, Debbie, for the body color. So that was the Fairy Tale Princesses and Storybook Darlings by Hannah Lynn. And then, because I couldn't get enough of my Hannah Lynn, I decided to do another In My Tattoo Darlings book. It was a while ago that I did one. So a little background story on this page. We are watching a cooking show called Bake of Vlaanderen, and it's a competition in which I think 10 people, maybe a bit more, are baking cakes and cookies and pies and you name it. And every episode, one contestant, is that the right word? Loses. They have to do 3 exams in baking, and the person with the lowest score has to move. And the judge is a man and a woman, and the woman is called Regula Ysewijn. She's a foodie. She takes pictures of food. She has a baking book. And she's a very special woman. She has super long red hair. She's dressed in a retro vintage style. I really like that. And yeah, I just had to base my girl on her. And this is how she's ended up. Regula really wears her hair like this. She has an Instagram page called missfoodwise. I try to remember to link that also in the description box below. Check her website or her Instagram account. You will see this little Hannah Lynn darling is Regula. She's Regula. Regula also likes to wear dot clothes or polka dot clothing. Her hair is always super beautiful. She has red hair, brown eyes. I tried to copy her as good as I could. Only Regula doesn't have tattoos, I think. At least not visible. So I really had a lot of fun with this picture. I used that pink paint again that I also used on my witch page because I thought it was a very soft companion to all the other poppy colors. Did use some bronze paint, Inktense for the background. I had a lovely time. Really like how she turned out. I've based her hair with aqua markers, and the pencils I've used, I have to think, Derwent drawing again, I think. Her skin is Prisma, if I'm not mistaken. And her dress is the Kuretake Genzai Tambi paint, the reddish one, without any shading on top. It was perfect like it looked, in my opinion, so very happy with this one. Forgot to write down my date, or did I? Oh no, I did on the other side. And I called her Regular because she's called Baking Betty, I believe. So lovely. And then we were at the end of September almost, and I wanted to do an autumn page, and it was a long time since I did one in Molly Harrison's Autumn Fantasy coloring book. And so I decided to do this one. You have 2 copies of each, so this is the original one. You can see markers here, and for the, oops, I'm sorry for that glare, for the bats, the background is, I believe, graphited pencil, Kuretake Moon. I adore my Kuretake Moons. Did some shimmering paint on top of that graphite sky. I'm going to show which one. I think it was this one. It's a very cheap one from my lovely discount shop Action. It's super cheap bottle, and if you put it on top of this, it shimmers a lot. I'm going to try and take a look with the torch what that is showing, if I'm holding that. No, you can see the shadow of my tripod. That's a bit better, but not that fantastic. But oh well, as usual, a lot of shimmer going on, and it's super lovely that my Posca pen is visible also. Based the leaves with markers also and went on top with colored pencils. I've used luminous pencils for her hair. The skin I'm not sure anymore. I definitely used Prismas for her cape, which was also water-based, a marker-based, marker-based background. And yeah, I really like the end result. Really happy with how this turned out. So, yeah. Really like this one. So that was in the autumn coloring book. And then my last finished project is another one in my gifted book by Fluffy, who mentioned earlier this week that she's super happy that I still mention her little book as being a gift, and why not? It's a lovely book. I adore working in it, so it may be said that I really appreciate her generosity and that I absolutely adore working in it. So you're very welcome, Fluffy. Thank you again. So I did this page. I've used Neos for the background. You can see it's quite crinkly, but I don't mind. And I really like that. I don't know if I'm going to turn my lamp a little bit. Maybe it's more visible. I wanted to achieve a bit of a rusty look with that Neo. Now you can see the crinkles quite good, but I really like it's a bit, how do you call it, nonchalance. Go with the flow, a go with the flow manner. It's not too right and too correct. It's just thrown on the page. That's what I am meaning to say. I splattered some red acrylic paint on top for blood stains. Used I think I used my color softs for the picture. And some aqua markers for the grass. It looks ugly, but it was a tryout with the aqua markers, and yeah, it's quite okay. But I really like that splattery effect. And the only stickles are on here. So sorry, I got interrupted. I'm already at the last page, and I think I've started this yesterday or the day before. It's still a whip, but I thought I would share. It's always nice to see what people are working on, and this was a book that I bought last year, I think, somewhere. Hadn't colored in this one yet, so it was about time. And I haven't chosen a real Halloween picture, but I did pick one out with a huge pumpkin, and it's this one. So it still has a lot of work, but step by step I will get there. I'm super happy that this pumpkin is finished. It was a base layer of aqua marker and Derwent drawing pencils on top. This little fellow is Holbein, totally. Base layer of aqua markers and Holbein pencils on top. Holbein also. And that's it. Still have to decide on all the rest, but I'm really enjoying it. I love how my little fellow has turned out. He has some blushy cheeks. I'm sorry for that glare here on this side. Is it? Yeah, he has some blushy cheeks, and I love the color scheme on his outfit. So yeah, I think it will turn out to be a cozy picture. At least I hope it will. And that concludes my finished pages for September video. I do apologize again for my bumpy camera, or bumpy cell phone in fact, for my bad lighting. I'm super sorry, but yeah, the people that are following me for quite some time now know that I don't follow a scenario, or it's just out of the blue that I start filming, and then some things can happen that can annoy me, or that I'm not always too happy with, but yeah, I have to take it like it is. And I'm extremely happy that I have a daylight lamp. It's only not super practical sometimes when filming, but yeah, it's autumn, winter is coming, and so the days are getting shorter. I will have to do more and more videos with my daylight lamp, so I can't blame it for being so bright. But yeah, for filming and for zooming in or for lifting up some pages, it can be annoying. So sorry again. Okay, I'm going to say goodbye for now. If you have any questions about the books or the materials used or whatever, please leave a comment down below. I thank you all very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed despite the bad lighting, and I hope I will see you soon on the next video. Thank you for watching and take care. Happy coloring. Bye.